There's a brand new upcoming action-adventure shooter that takes place in the vastness of space, and I was lucky enough to get to test out the closed beta for Into Black. I am super excited to say that this game is something VR has needed for a long time and will be amongst some of the greats in my personal opinion. So sit back and relax as I dive into the mysterious creature-filled action of Into Black. At first I was blown away by the title screen that shows exactly why the game's title is so fitting. The settings basically have what we want from a VR game, as we do have smooth turning or snap turning with some adjustments to turn speed. We have all the basic audio settings to tune our sound too. There's an accessibility tab that allows us to change our wrist UI size if we need it, and we also have damage numbers which come in handy later on. We can start a new game with multiple profiles, so if you have more than one person using a headset, it is very nice to have and fresh to see. Spawning into the ship's cabin was beautiful, as I was pleased to see the classic cel shading aesthetic, and being greeted by a robot gave me an instant feeling of Borderlands. Voice acting seemed to be a priority of the developers on this game, as it is super clear and crisp with emotion, which really goes a long way in a game with a storyline.
How close are we to the asteroid?
Coming up on it in a minute. Oh, not again.
What's the problem?
It's that faulty drive core coupling.
I'll take a look.
Manual labor, eh? Shall I prepare your dungarees?
No thank you, Jonathan. This should be fixable.
A good chunk of the game is its resource management, which allows you to land on planets and scavenge for whatever the planet has to offer. Touching down for the first time really shows you how big this game is going to be with its massive level designs. Not only does each level give you a great sense of scale, but lets you explore its beautifully crafted environments that really immerse you with Into Black's world.
Is this copper?
The big crystal-shaped thing?
Gathering resources can be as easy as swinging your pickaxe manually until a rock explodes into fragments, or use your special tools that can only be used on certain resources for collection. Gathering these resources help you with many things in the game, such as repairing your ship, crafting new tools, or even weapons. Into Black has resource missions, which are basically for just that, gathering resources, and a main storyline, which can be played with up to 4 players in co-op or solo. Each mission has 5 different difficulty levels to choose from to make things as easy as you want or as challenging as you want to be with your friends. This adds a huge amount of replayability. The combat in the game is actually really cool. It makes you feel like you're a super soldier and almost gives you this Halo-type feeling with the weight of gravity on each planet. You are able to use several different weapons and have complete free range of how you want to handle each situation. There are also several types of enemies to fight, from ground minions to pesky flying bugs who launch things at you while you're engaged with them. The combat is actually quite simple, but it really feels so cool when fighting to the game's amazing combat music.
We won't even need a drive core.
Splendid!
Did it reappear again?
Deeper into the cave yet again.
Mark it on the map.
There even seems to be massive boss fights in some levels that really put your skills and your team to the test. You really never know what lurks around the corners in the darkness of these wild planets. And did I mention there's even loot boxes hidden around too? Make sure you find them all, as the containers have rare resources and items for your team to collect. Overall, Into Black is shaping up to be a great story-driven co-op game that will have you on your toes and immersed in its rich worlds and creatures. There will also be a mode called Singularity, which basically adds a PvPvE where you can fight it out with up to 12 players in an online competitive mode, which seems to be some type of extraction mode. I can't wait to check that out, as I'm sure it'll be action-packed. Into Black is definitely on my wish list, as the full game will be launching in October, and it needs to be on yours too. The beautiful levels, exploration, and enemies will be one to remember, and I don't think this is a game just to brush over, as I think it'll be well worth the investment and playtime. So, as always, if you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for everything that's Into Black. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.